Welcome back.
Yep.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, Curt made it.
Yeah,
How we doing, guys?
We got Curt on.
Yep.
It's gonna be a shorter one today, but we'll come back tomorrow. Or?
Yeah, we can do it tomorrow.
Figure it out.
We got a fantasy football draft we got to get to.
Cool guys.
That we do.
Yeah, you know
It's our biggest buy-in yet.
I know, $50.
The pot's pretty nice this year. 12 people too.
12
No,
people?
14.
14.
No.
We're playing with 14 people.
Well, who are the last two people that joined?
Armand.
No, we went from 10 to 12.
No, we went from 12 to 14.
Okay, you're probably right.
So we're
$700 pot. So what's first place and third
no,
place?
it's more than $700.
well, no, 50 times 14 would be 700.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what's first place get? And
I don't know. I think it's third place gets their money back. Second place wins a little bit, and then first place gets the rest, I think. So,
is that how we're doing it?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, it's 14 teams. So Aries joined, Armand joined, and
Aries.
then
I forgot Aries joined.
and William.
Willie?
William
Yeah,
Sheffield.
Willie joined.
Okay.
So 14. Definitely the biggest group. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I feel like 12 is always the max because once you get to 14 people, you get some really like deep picks, like some guys that might see the field or they won't.
And your odds are just getting less and less.
Yeah. But then also the pot's bigger. So
Yeah. Anyway, it's all fun at the end of the day.
yeah, it's all fun at the end of the day.
So, well, if I get to kick Aries' ass at fantasy, I mean, I'm happy.
It's all worth it, right?
Well, shall I introduce the bear fact for this
Kurt.
podcast?
Yeah, go
Kurt's
ahead.
got our bear fact for today.
All right. Well, polar bear today. Exotic bear. Polar bears are the only bear, and I think the only animal that will actively hunt a human being.
Yeah.
So like if you're in the vicinity of a polar bear in the
They will
wild,
sniff you out because they want to eat you.
There's not a whole lot to eat in the Arctic, so that kind of makes sense.
it does make sense.
I think that there is what is it? A tiger or something in the North Arctic that will also
Hunt people.
hunt people.
Siberian tiger.
Siberian tiger.
We'll also hunt people.
I think they do too.
Yeah,
Like I said, it makes sense. And also there was that other one that we talked about, how a polar bear, 1 square inch of fur has like 10,000 strands of hair in it.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the Siberian tiger?
They probably have a lot of hair too. I don't know.
They're fluffy.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about your freaking adventure that you went on. I haven't even heard most of anything about it.
Well, yeah, let's get into it.
When'd you leave?
I left. I hit the road in the morning of the 31st of July.
Okay.
Drove up to Colorado Springs. That was right at halfway.
Okay.
Stayed. I was choking on your vape. Just blew it right in my face.
Easy major.
And good thing I got this Topo Chico.
Not a sponsor.
Not yet. Not yet. So it was a 21-hour drive. And so I drove like 11 the first day, or it was like 10 and a half. Then I drove like 10 the next day. And,
How's that salmon sitting?
well, actually, that was the Topo Chico. making me
Keep
burp
burping.
burp a little bit.
So then you leave Colorado Springs and you go where?
Up through Denver, and then from the southeast corner of Wyoming up to the northwest corner where Yellowstone is.
Okay.
Nice.
And Wyoming is the most barren state I've probably ever seen.
Is it just flat?
I mean, it's about as close to a desert as you can get without being in a desert.
It's green. It's a
There's
green
just
desert.
It's not even green.
Ooh.
I didn't even see trees. It was all just little shrubs,
Yeah.
like those tiny little shrubs.
Where was Napoleon Dynamite Field? Was that in Idaho?
It was in the west somewhere.
Yeah. So
It was like I think it might have been Nebraska.
really?
Yeah, you should
I
look that
think it was Idaho. I'll look
up.
it
I
up.
always forget. I was in Idaho for a little bit too, for like half a day. Seemed pretty cool.
Did you see any potatoes?
I drove past farms, so
Probably.
likely a potato farm. But I was fishing on the river that flows from Grand Teton Park, the Snake River, and it's fed by Jackson Lake, and it's like at a record low right now. All the potato farmers in Idaho rely on
Preston, Idaho. That's where Napoleon Dynamite was filmed.
Idaho, really?
Yeah,
What part? Where is that
Preston, Idaho.
on the map?
It's the southeast corner.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much where I was. Actually, no. I think I was like towards the middle top of Idaho,
Okay.
where the Tetons are. I guess I don't know Idaho very well. I was near Alta, Idaho.
Okay.
But Wyoming, yeah, back to Wyoming. Super barren,
Yeah.
and there wasn't an exit on the highway for probably 200 miles,
Wow.
which was nuts
Yeah.
because I was glad I filled up with gas.
Sounds like driving through New Mexico.
Yeah, it looks like New Mexico until you get to the northwest corner, and then it just gets insane. It's like a forest, and that's where Yellowstone is.
So you camped out in Yellowstone?
I did.
That's awesome.
It was sweet. I wanted to do it last year, like right when quarantine hit. Probably like I think it was in about May. I was like, I should go to Yellowstone this summer, and I looked into it, and I was kind of under the impression that you had to book everything, that I missed the deadline for everything, which I kind of did for booking it, but I didn't realize that you can still kind of go and make it. They leave areas open for last minute reservations, so you could definitely plan, or you could definitely go on like a spontaneous trip up there, which is kind of what my trip turned into, because I ended up staying for like an extra week and a half.
Yeah.
And I had a whole agenda, and I only did like half of it, maybe a little more than half, but
Did you do any fishing?
I did. I fished every day besides the 2 first days of driving and the last 2 days of driving. Every other day, brought my fly rods, and that was the whole draw for the trip. So
What'd you catch?
I caught 6 species of trout,
Hell yeah.
a grayling, and yeah.
You take any pictures?
I have way too many pictures and videos for my trip.
Oh, nice.
I like vlogged it pretty much with just with my phone, and I have all sorts of pictures and videos. I think I had over 1,000 combined because I didn't have service for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so when you were camping, I mean, did you see anyone? Like when you were actually camping out in the woods, like when was the period between the last time you saw someone?
So the whole trip I had planned was like a backpacking trip that it wasn't like a hike through to where I was gone for like 2 weeks, out in the sticks.
Yeah.
It was like 2 nights at a time, and I had my backpack, and I had like 3 days worth of food.
Okay.
And I did that like 3 times, and then after that just pretty much car camped and set up shop in my car. My seats laid down, and it was super. It was a little bit better than tent camping.
Oh, yeah?
I got used to the car camping
So you camped out of your car?
most of the time. I slept in a tent only 2 nights, so it went from, it was supposed to be like 7 or 8, but I only slept in a tent for like 2 nights because I got used to the car camping.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of hiking at the beginning. And the day where I ran into the grizzly bears and the black bear all at the same time,
Yeah.
I had hiked 15 miles to get to my campsite. And I had like 30 pounds on my back.
Wow.
And so it was pretty tough. And like I was barely able to make it that far. I was like walking so slow, could barely pick up my feet.
Yeah.
And I was like just dragging along. And
Did you bring any food with you?
yeah. So I had oatmeal every morning,
Yeah.
Nice.
and I would just heat up. I have like a little backpack stove and a fuel canister that connects to it. I just heat up oatmeal every morning and eat like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch a lot of days.
Yeah.
And then I got some backpackers dehydrated meals from REI before I left, So that was the dinner every night.
Did you have any pocket blueberries?
Any what?
Pocket blueberries.
Pocket blueberries.
Did you have any blueberries in your pocket?
No, never did.
What strawberries?
No, I didn't eat much fruit. I had some apples and cinnamon oatmeal.
Did you see any suspicious berries on the trail that you were walking? You're like,
Oh, I saw some suspicious berries.
Did you eat any?
Oh, no. You got to stay away from those.
Yeah.
You don't want to, eat the wrong berry.
Did you have like an atlas, like a guy that told you what of the encyclopedia of all the animals and plants in the area?
No, but I bought a book for the fishing, and that's what I used to kind of like find where I wanted to camp, because it all revolved around the fishing.
Yeah.
So I had a book on like fishing and stuff, and it kind of talks about the species and like the wildlife in the area, but it just says it pretty much will just tell you if you're likely to see a grizzly bear or a moose while you're fishing.
Yeah.
So it's not like an encyclopedia.
Is a moose hostile?
So
I think it can be.
More moose attacks happen than bear attacks
Really?
in Yellowstone. The bears, I think.
Here, move the microphone up to your face a little bit more.
Is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
Moose are people that frequent the area or live up there. They know that a moose is a little more dangerous than a bear, especially a grizzly bear or especially a black bear. Like obviously,
I feel like the black bear's more docile than brown bears were.
Definitely are, yeah. Like when I saw the black bear after I hiked into my campsite, he was like right outside my campsite, and I look over and I see him. And he's like 50 or 60 yards away. He's eating some huckleberries or something.
Right.
And I look over at him, and I yell at him.
You yell at the bear?
I yelled at him because that's what, like when you're hiking on the trail, like you yell every.
Or you're like,
often.
hey.
I just yell, hey bear.
Bear.
Just so bears, if they're around me, hear me, they know I'm there.
Yeah.
They're not surprised, because that's where a lot of accidents happen. Like
whenever you sneak up on a bear?
it's like more than 9 out of 10. It's like 95% of
If you scare the bear.
grizzly bears. Yeah. They like people that get attacked by grizzly bears, it's because they got it between like 95% of the time it's because they got between the sow grizzly bear, which is the mama.
Yeah.
And the cubs.
Okay.
And so mama's got to protect the cubs.
Right.
And if you're in the middle, then it's not good. You don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So what were we going to say?
If you're out in the woods and a little cub rolls along,
Exactly.
Get away.
the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's you got to get.
Yeah.
So I yelled at the black bear, because you kind of yell as you hike. I had bear spray, and I had a little bell on my backpack
A bell?
that just kind of dings around, so you don't have to yell as much.
Huh.
It didn't really do anything.
Did it make a bunch of noise?
It just goes ding 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 ding.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
a bell.
Yeah.
And having the bear spray was nice. I bought a gun, and I ended up kind of realizing I didn't really need the gun, especially since it holds 15 rounds, and it was just super heavy. And I had bear spray on my hip too, and I was just like, if a bear attacked me, I'd rather pull out the bear spray
Yeah.
and spray it, because it's not like 98% effective,
Yeah.
and you don't really have to aim. It's a cloud.
Yeah.
And with a gun, you got to hit that bear right in the head.
Yeah.
And so, I don't really want to kill the bear. Like, I don't want to die. Like,
Right.
I'll kill the bear.
Right.
I don't really want to. Bear spray is really all you need.
So you got, what, a 10 millimeter? That gun?
Yeah. Glock 20, 10 millimeter.
It's probably pretty heavy.
Yeah, no, it holds 15 plus 1. So that thing weighed like 4 pounds. So when I had it on my hip for like short distance, like when I was fishing near roads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd maybe hike like a mile or two with it. But when I hiked 15 miles, there was no way I was bringing the gun.
Yeah.
Because that was after the first trip, and I was like, I gotta downsize my gear.
Yeah.
And so that was like the first thing. So
you never had to use it?
never fired it. Luckily, it's illegal to fire it in national parks.
Oh, really?
or at least in Yellowstone. So
What if you're defending yourself?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if a bear is attacking you?
you're likely still you're gonna get charged.
Yeah, because bears are endangered.
Yeah.
The grizzly bears, yeah, they had to reintroduce them in Yellowstone because they were all wiped out. So now there's like 2,000 up there.
I mean, if you get attacked by a bear and you're defending yourself,
Yeah,
and you still get in trouble for that.
you should definitely shoot it because it's better than dying. But that's kind of where it's kind of a gray area because like you can carry the gun, but you can't fire it.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
I think it's a federal law. There's federal, state laws. They kind of mix together, so you can do this, but you can't do that. But
I mean, like, no one will know. Like, if the bear's on top of you and the gun's on your hip, and it's like you're on your back and you have like your hand in front of you, and it's like trying to bite your hand. If you get that gun like right up to it, it's like a giant silencer.
No,
Nope.
that's not how it works.
I don't think that would do much unless it was like buried in its arm or something, or like under its arm or something. I mean, it would help.
Yeah.
But if I have to shoot a bear, I'm not really worried about how loud the gun is.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about bear spray before. We kind of just realized that bear spray is just a more.
It's twice as strong as pepper spray.
It's just a much stronger form of pepper spray.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had thought it was. I hadn't looked into it, but I know that there's certain, when you buy it, you want to make sure that it's like 35% of the active ingredient in pepper spray. It starts with like a D, I think, whatever it's called. You want to make sure it's strong enough for a bear.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll run through it and it won't hit them for like a few seconds.
Was it, you never had to use it? You never had to test it or?
No.
Okay.
No.
I know you're not supposed to test it.
I don't want to test it.
I've heard like when you use mace and pepper spray and stuff like that, it can get like back on you, or like if you touch your eyes or your face.
Oh yeah. You're done.
If I had a little can of mace and we were standing outside in the backyard, of like pepper spray, and I sprayed it for like a half second, just barely.
Yeah.
We would be coughing for like an hour.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Because it's happened to me before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get sprayed, but
You were just in the vicinity.
Yeah, I think we were like messing around or something, and we sprayed just like a little bit, and we just like breathed it in, just barely.
Is it bear spray or pepper spray?
It was pepper spray.
Thank God.
Yeah, if it's bear spray, like, yeah, you're gonna be coughing for a while. But luckily, I never had to use it.
Yeah.
And I saw bears, which was cool. I was kind of scared in the moment because I saw the black bear, and I was like, I have this video. And it's all on video. I saw the black bear, and I was like, hey, here's the black bear. I yelled at him, and I was like, I don't really think he cares about me too much. Oh, if it was a grizzly bear, I'd shit my pants. Then I look up, and it was like a minute later, I see the two grizzly. They're like little, they weren't cubs, but they were yearlings.
Yeah.
There was a patrol cabin like a mile away. I was at a big lake called Heart Lake, and it's in Yellowstone, and the patrol cabin was on the other side of the lake, and I was like a mile, maybe a mile and a half away from it. And the next day when I was leaving, there was a guy and a girl that were on patrol. They were working there, and I'd met them the night before when I'd hiked in. They were digging a pit for a toilet, because out there were pits at that campsite.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to them as a guy and a girl, and they were probably like 6 or 7 years older than us, maybe late 20s. And I saw them the next day when I was leaving, and they asked me if I saw anything interesting. And I said, yeah, I saw 2 grizzlies and a black bear at my campsite. And the girl was like, no way. I haven't even seen that many bears this whole summer.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know, like, to believe that or not, because that's just crazy.
Yeah.
And I showed the video I took, and the guy was like, yeah, I think those are yearlings. So that means that mama bear must have gone her own way by then.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. It was likely that was the case.
They didn't seem that big.
No, they weren't that big. I wasn't gonna get close to them though.
Right.
They were like as big as the black bear, and the black bear. I mean, I don't know how much that thing weighed. It probably weighed like, I could be off, but it looked like it probably weighed about 400 or 500 pounds. Like it was pretty big. I didn't know black bears got that big.
Yeah.
I don't run into them very often.
Yeah.
But I could tell it didn't care about me at all. It looked at me and then it just looked away. I was like, yeah, he doesn't care about me. So I wasn't really worried about him. I kept walking and I looked over my shoulder a couple times, but wasn't too concerned. And then I saw those other two, and that's kind of when I stopped and I was like, okay, shit got real.
I'm pinched by bears right now.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm literally surrounded by bears. And I thought Mama Bear was in my campsite because it was on the edge of this lake, and my campsite was in a wooded area. It was pretty densely like wooded. And the two grizzlies were drinking some water on this rocky bank right next to it. And I figured Mama might have been hanging out at my campsite. So I think I waited about half an hour, 20 minutes for the bears to run off and for me to go in my campsite. And I instantly made food.
Really?
Right when I got to my campsite because I hadn't eaten since lunch.
Yeah.
And it was like 6:30. And so it was dinner time. And I felt like I was being watched.
Yeah.
While I was eating my chicken pad thai. Bears have 200 times better sense of smell than a dog.
Oh, than a dog.
So I think it's 2,000 times better than a human.
Wow.
So they can smell
Your chicken pad thai that you
they
brought
can
out
smell my
to the
chicken
woods.
pad thai from a couple miles away, I'm sure.
So did you bring like a bunch of boxes full of food?
I just had one box. It was big enough. My oatmeal didn't take up any room. Just small packets of oatmeal. Then those dinners, I had like 10 of them. It didn't take up that much room. Then I had a cooler too that I just left in my car. So that was why car camping was nice, because I'd go to a general store in Yellowstone and buy like a 6-pack of beer, 12-pack of beer.
Yeah.
And definitely super nice to have a beer too.
Yeah.
Before I fell asleep, like when the sun was going down, when I was making dinner, because I would fall asleep every night by about 9:30, and I'd wake up at about 6:30 or 7. So I got a lot of sleep while I was there.
Yeah. I bet.
And I was on a pretty good sleep schedule because there was no phone service or anything. So nothing to stay up to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it sounds nice.
gassed after a long day of fishing.
Is that what you do all day? You just go fishing?
That was pretty much what I did. There was one day where I went and saw Old Faithful and the Grand Prismatic Spring, and I fished for a few hours.
What's Old Faithful?
That's the huge geyser.
Okay.
Nice.
The one that it goes off like every 90 minutes.
Oh, so you saw it go off?
Yeah, I actually took a selfie with it. Let me pull it up. I have about 1 million pictures. You guys could look at everything. Here's the Grand Prismatic Spring.
That's cool.
That is cool.
It was really sweet. And it's just this huge pool.
So it's just like a little pool.
Like a thermal pool.
Yeah.
Super hot. It's like super gassy. And
Did you go for a swim?
you cannot swim in there. You will not be getting out.
Yeah.
I think they're like 300, 400 degrees.
Yeah.
And they're colored like that because of like sulfur and minerals in the
water.
area, in the water. Let's see if I have the selfie with Old Faithful. Here we go.
And you took a bunch of pictures.
Oh,
That's
dude.
cool.
Look at all these pictures I took. Here, let me go down to the end of the trip. This was the end of the trip. So,
That's a lot of pictures.
yeah, it just keeps going and going.
Man, you gotta put them somewhere.
This is about halfway.
Yeah, you got to spend about like a whole day going through all that.
Oh, I've spent days going through it.
I bet it was bigger at one point.
I haven't really deleted anything.
Yeah, usually whenever I take pictures for whatever I'm doing, I usually don't delete them, and they just kind of just sit there.
Yeah.
Depending on what I'm taking pictures of, I'll delete like duplicates that are the same picture and just trim it
Keep
up.
the better one.
Yeah, just keep the best one of what it is, so
Yeah.
it's slimmer.
this was my bag. This is what I was hiking with for like it was only about the first week where I hiked with all that.
Okay, so it's a pretty big bag.
Yeah, and then I had my fishing bag on the back, my tent back down there. But yeah, I hiked a lot the first week, and then I pretty much went to the most remote spots that I wanted to go to. There was another spot that I was supposed to go to that I was told that there would be a grizzly bear within a half mile the whole time I was out there.
Yeah.
And after I saw the first 2 grizzlies, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to hike that far. I wanted to go this creek. It was like 7-mile hike.
Yeah.
Camp out there for like 2 nights. And I'd gotten my share of hiking in after the 15-miler. And I was good.
Yeah. I would be too.
But yeah, I recommend Yellowstone.
You plan on making any other trips?
In my lifetime?
Well, sure.
Yeah, I got a lot of places planned. I don't know if there's a cooler place to go to in the United States
I did.
In Yellowstone?
than Yellowstone. And think about Yellowstone, going out there.
What's the one in California? The big one.
The Grand Canyon.
No.
No,
What are you talking
you're
about?
talking about. Why can't my brain think?
Yosemite.
Yosemite. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yosemite.
Yeah.
Yosemite's awesome. But that was the contender. That was the other place that I was weighing between Yellowstone or Yosemite. The reason why, so the past like 3 summers, I've gone to Colorado to catch trout
Yeah.
and fish. And so this summer, I was like, I want to go catch cutthroat trout.
Yeah.
And unless you're at an alpine lake, 12,000 feet up or 10,000 feet up in Colorado, there really aren't any cutthroat trout. So go to Yellowstone, that's where you find all the cutthroat trout. And I said, yes,
Yes.
let's do it.
I wonder if there's any fishing in Yosemite. I'm sure there is.
There are golden trout
Oh.
in Yosemite.
I'll go there.
I will too. There are golden trout near Yellowstone as well.
It's actually pronounced Yosemite.
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 I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, it's Yosemite.
Yeah, Yosemite. In Yosemite, there's the Half Dome, which is like, the big famous thing.
Yeah.
And then, there's golden trout. And Thanos is calling.
Yeah, Thanos
Can
is
you
calling.
take that, Brandt?
Should I?
I hope you know if you mute yourself, you can still hear it on our mics.
Well, we can talk for a little bit.
Yeah, let's just run it up real quick. I was going to ask you, what was your total cost on the trip, like from getting there and getting back?
So I bought like way more flies than I needed. The total cost, like, should I include fishing stuff?
Yeah,
Here, I'll just break everything down, really.
Okay.
So I underestimated my gas budget.
Yeah, I was going to say gas is probably the most expensive.
Fat margin. I calculated like that I was gonna spend like $300 or $400 on gas. I had to spend like $800.
Damn.
I never paid for any lodging though, not for not a single night.
That's a steal.
So that was nice. So my gas was probably like, because gas up there, one gas station in Jackson Hole, which is near the Tetons in Wyoming, I paid $4.33. It's $4.33 a gallon.
That's crazy.
So it's nearly like 40% higher than it is like down here.
Yeah.
Or at least in Fort Worth. Down here it's a little more. Down here it's or a little less. It's like 30% more. But anyway, gas got expensive when I got really near like Amarillo, I guess, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana. Gas was expensive all up there.
Is it more expensive than it is here, for sure?
Oh, way more. It was like $1 more.
Really?
When I was in Jackson Hole, I paid $4.33 a gallon when I filled up.
Wow.
One time. That was a lot. That was the most. But yeah, on average up there, it was like $3.90.
Damn, that's
Still
great.
a lot. Yeah, it's nuts. But fortunately, we kind of gotta wrap this one up.
I'll ask a question real quick.
Yeah.
It's kind of random, I guess. It's completely off topic, but I wanted to ask it.
It's gonna be good.
Do you think social media as a whole has improved human communication?
communication, like being able to instantly talk to each other.
No, just being able to communicate with people.
I'm saying yes, it is linked us communication wise, but what it's done
Our
to,
ability to communicate with people.
yes, it has improved our ability
Physical
to communicate.
ability, face to
like-
face.
Just the skill of being able to communicate with people.
Yes, it has improved that, but like what it's done to us is awful.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Phones are great, but they're also pretty terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like with the social media thing, I can text you right now on like 7 different platforms.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about yesterday. If we can go back in time, I go back to like 1970, 1980
To live.
to live in that way. You know, there's no phones. There's no one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's obviously phones on the wall, but there's not a phone in your pocket at all times, right?
Yeah.
Just go out and do whatever the heck you want. No one's.
Well, this will be good to start off tomorrow because, I mean, we're freaking cyborgs, dude. So that's where we can start tomorrow
Okay.
because we can't live without our phones. I don't know about y'all, but
I can.
I can.
I mean, I can. I enjoyed it when I was on my trip, but in the modern day and age, I mean, you
It's
can't work
needed.
without your phone.
It's become a
You
necessity.
can't work without your phone,
Yeah.
right? So,
It's stupid.
so you could live without your phone, yeah, but
Yeah.
you probably couldn't.
I'd like to. That's what I'm saying. If
That's
you go
why
back to,
I went on my trip. No phone for like 2.5 weeks.
well, you still took videos.
Yeah, but you know, I was off the grid.
You're off the grid,
Yeah.
taking pictures of bears and fish
Bears and fish and
and geysers.
geysers and stuff. I
Thermal
saw some
pools.
eagles.
Really?
Didn't get a picture though.
Any bald ones?
They were bald.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
No Mexican eagles up there.
Okay. Just American ones.
Yeah.
I was
well,
gonna-
Mexican eagle's bird.
I was gonna
Oh.
ask you if you saw any other animals besides fish, bird, bear.
Deer.
Moose.
Yeah, I saw some deer.
Meese.
I didn't see any moose.
Mooses.
I almost said meese. Because you. I didn't see any moose. I wanted to see some moose for sure because I don't think I've ever seen one. I saw some badass elk up there.
I was gonna ask you if you saw any elk.
Yeah, saw some elk.
We should go on an elk hunt sometime.
I'm down, man. I am down. I
Yeah.
haven't been in a few years, and I'm running out of elk meat.
How much is a tag?
That varies. You want to shoot a bull?
No.
You're non-resident.
Yeah.
If you want to go shoot in public land in Colorado, I don't know. You have to look it up.
You probably have to know someone.
That definitely helps.
Yeah.
Go shoot a bull at private ranch.
So yeah, someone's elk.
You're probably gonna be spending probably like $15,000 for a bull.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 20.
Jeez.
But
That's a lot. That's a lot of elk meat though.
No, you get a lot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get better.
And it's awesome.
It's awesome.
Elk meat is so good.
Had it like twice.
You're missing out, man.
Or
I
if
think
you
I've
had
got
it a
some.
thousand
I've
times.
got some in my apartment.
We grew it. Oh.
I've grilled some for y'all, right?
Yeah. I know our last trip we went to Colorado, spring break,
Oh, yeah, you did bring
Elk
some.
burgers.
elk burgers. But you weren't there for that.
Oh wait, was that I thought
Spring
it was-
break.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we gotta go. So
No, we don't. We're not leaving.
we got the draft.
It was a joke, Kurt. You can't go to the draft.
Yeah, there's no draft. There is no draft.
There, you know that there's a draft.
You can do it from your phone. That's why you have it
Well, I got my laptop too.
in the back of my truck.
So if
Cooking in the
if I go
sun.
get that, then we can stay. But
No, it's okay. We'll go.
okay, yeah.
Well, it's been a good one.
No, it hasn't.
Well,
We'll talk again tomorrow.
yeah. No, we're going to probably run it for like 2 or 3 hours tomorrow. You guys, are you guys?
I
okay
don't
with that?
care. I mean, if we can start probably around 5 o'clock or so, I'm good.
I definitely want to.
Okay.
All right.
You have any plans tomorrow, Major? Plans that you don't want to tell me about?
You do now.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I do now.
All right.
All
See you tomorrow.
Peace.